Hello everybody. There we go. Now we can hear. Hello everybody and welcome to day 2 of the Titans. Trying to do a lessons learned. Yesterday I did all tier 4. We didn't get the videos from Zoro and Merrick's till much later, which it's fine. They're learning as they play too because they have about as much information as we do. Anyways, I did my tier 2 and tier 3 already, and I'm just focusing on my tier 4. So, tier 3, my Hogan does not have hype on it yet, so I went ahead and used Hogan. Hogan is a great card to truly hit up on this, especially against an Acro, because he has the move that will. Let me just go to him and show. He's got the move that throws out the multis, which with his buff makes a huge hit. Let's see. Let's go Hogan. This is what I ran, and it easily did the 400 million. So pretty much you're starting with your buff, and then you're going to use this move here. So what I did was I hit the buff. I made a red cascade to fill my finisher. And then I threw the rest of the reds out there because it will turn into multiplies, which these start off as multiplies of 5. I had them doing 7 with Andre, and then creating more with Howdy in case they had more, which they did. And then hit the finisher, and kaboom, everything goes off. Now, what you can do is you can hit the buff a second time to where you're doing basically a 1, 2, 3, and then 4, which is hitting huge. That will hit absolutely huge. Now, this setup is really just for an acrobat. If you have the 2-click option, he'll do just as fine with that. If you've got the gear with the 2-click option and the multiple of these, which with these, I never did level up that one. It gives me 1 more to the multiply and 25 to the gem. Same thing, this is probably not leveled up. I don't use anybody on here. Yeah, it's got a little more to go. But anyways, really good card for going against this acrobat. Now, for my tier 4, I am choosing my first round is going to be with Koko B. Ware. And I'm doing that because I have the parrot plate on him. Where's Koko? There he is. That's going to stack for me. And then Jey Uso on the back end. He has the... I've got a Black Rumble on him. This is not his strap at all. It's my Dirty Dom strap. But we're going to utilize that Black Rumble on there to be in combination with this buff. And he's going to be able to stack with the buff and gear. Whereas Koko's going to be mainly stacking with the parrot plate. Another good option in this spot is going to be Powerhouse Austin, because he's a 2-click option. And then my other one that I'm probably going to end up running is Viscera, because he gets additional multiplies against Acros as well, much like Hogan. So let's go ahead and knock out the first round of this. We are going to be fully loaded. I've got trainers on both of them. So here goes our turn 1. And this will allow us to get it off twice in the first turn. This feels like it's running a little slower than ×2 speed, honestly. Oh, no, I think that I played the wrong one. I think I'm on 3 again. God dog it. That's a waste of an energy. That's okay. Mistakes are going to be made. Slightly costly. God, I'm not going to be able to use E or J. This is terrible. Well, that's a problem. So, you might find yourself making mistakes like that. That totally burned there. So I can't use Cocoa at all. God damn it. Alright. Well, Viscera it is. And I can't use him. So we could use Julius. I've got the Tomlin chest on him along with the anniversary plate. Alright. This. And where's Bailey? Oh, let's see how many MP we need for this. 6 MP. That goes to 9. Then we're able to 2-click after that. And let's throw Bailey on there. She's going to give us the most, I think. Yeah, she should be better than Howdy on this. Because Howdy's just going to end up taking away our heal gem. Here she is. Alright. So we're doing gems of 17, but we're going to get an additional 5 with the finisher since we're going against an acrobat. This should do fairly nicely if I'm not mistaken. On my strap, I do have... I wish I had his plate on it. It would give us a better hit. But what this is going to help us do, we're making yellow gems. This is going to help us refill that finisher to where we can start 2-clicking afterwards. That one's got yellow gem damage. And then on the back, we've got Creed. And with Creed, this setup works a little funky. I tried throwing the multis out yesterday, and it works, but it's a little funky with the It's a Trap, where you end up covering up some of your trap gems. So just be aware of that. That can easily happen. We're almost... Ooh, he might be going hype 3. He's a good one to definitely have hyped up. Okay. We need energies. Do. Tier 4. Thank you. And our group didn't quite get to tier 5 yesterday, so I'm just going to use both energies instead of waiting on my tier 4. Because even if we get to 5, I don't know if we're going to be able to beat it. There we go. It's a nice cascade. Okay, so we refilled there. And now we can to click it. It's the only reason I'm really liking that Ministry plate on there for this game mode. I think, not the Ministry, the Crown plate on there. I think that this is going to be a good spot for it. And we'll just keep going. Now, we did lose our buff, and that happens when he has a turn. But we do know that now from just prior testing. That did not fill. That's okay. We're filled here. That's interesting. And I'm trying to do these as fast as I can. I realize this is getting to be a long video, but unfortunately it's a fairly long process with this. All right, we've got another turn. I wish we could keep going with Viscerus with that heal gem. That thing is powerful, but I forget what it is the boss does. Something like 300 million damage after this third hit. Hopefully this refills our reds. It does. That way I can... So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to throw this out. And you'll see why with Julius. So he's coming in now. Our yellows are at... Is that 2 million? The first time, I'm going to throw the traps out. This should go around those multis. And then we got some additional. This should be a very, very good hit. Our purples are doing 7 million apiece. So this should do really, really good. Especially on those 17s, I'm sorry. On the 17s, they're doing that. On the... I don't have any 8s to show, but we'll go here. And if you're able to get your multis to go over to your partner and then hit a buff on it, I mean, these should be some really big hits. That was a weird animation. I don't know if y'all had noticed that in the background. All right, we have 3, so we're going to go ahead and throw down his multis here. And you'll see what I was talking about. Some of these traps are going to end up overriding a few of the multis. And it's doing that because it doesn't have enough space at the top, even though it left blanks to throw the anniversary. We still should have enough on the board to create a good cascade. I think that was close to a billion hit right there. That's fantastic. And ideally, if you don't have the anniversary, a really good one to have is the Break Purple Get Blue plate. I'm not 100% sure on the name of that plate. It's one of the old classics. Very good plate to have on there for this game mode. We're not going to get the fill of the blue, even if we swiped. We're not going to risk it for that. So we're going to throw this out again. And just keep stacking. Our multis are doing 12 million apiece. Plus an additional buff here. And this is how you're seeing some people do huge damage. We're focusing on these 2-click buffs or anything of that sort. The boss is going to have a turn, so I'm about to lose my buff anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and take a swipe. He's going to do his thing. Okay. And we just keep on rolling. Come on, give us that blue cascade. It did not. Dang it. I would use a prop in that situation. However, I've been told that counts as a turn, which is what we don't want. You know, you could use one that'll create blue, which would be better than using a MP up. And this doesn't matter. Because he's going to, I want to say he's going to kill us on this turn. Yep, there it is. And there we go. My next round, ooh, how much we do there? Almost 4 billion, is that right? Yep, 3.88 billion. Julius did a little bit better than Viscera, but that's because he has the buff plus the Tama. For my next setup, I'm not going to keep filming through it, but I'll just show you who I'm going to use. And unfortunately, it was going to be Koko B. Ware, but I am going to use Austin because he's going to be, well, I do have a parrot plate. I'm probably going to move my parrot plate back to Austin. The parrot plate is really good here, I'm not going to lie, but he doesn't have that 2-click option that Austin has on Ray, so there is that. Dudenator is my other go-to for this. He running them very, very simple. We're using MP up for the first one. So do we need? No, that's right. That's right. Seth, Goldberg, and then blue right there. Yep. That way we're turned, we fill, then boom, boom. And then we've got the blue rumble on him for even more damage. The top plate is just there because I didn't feel like removing it. And we're almost ready for him too. But on the front end, I could use either Austin, who, even with the Titan plate, he's going to stack up. So he should do really well. I've got 4 days, 4 plate moves, so let's just do it. I'm going to move the Frankie plate back over to him. I know it's zombie month and want to use my zombies, but at the end of the day, we've got a new game mode to focus on. So let's just do this. So this is going to stack up really nice because he's got a buff and a plate. And, well, 2 plates. So both are going to continue to just stack and stack and stack. You could do this, or you could use Sammy. We'll use Sammy. But that's my plan. My go ahead and plan for the day. Like I said, it was going to be Koko B. Ware and Jay, but I kind of messed that up. You want to focus on these buffs. That is going to be key to it. You don't want to be filling moves. If you're going to use a prop, like I was saying, the MP up props and down props, you obviously wouldn't be using down, are not going to be beneficial because they waste a turn. You're going to want to use some of these, and you get these in the Stip stores. They're cheap. Every day I grab that little box of those. You don't get many, but they come in handy when you need them. They really do. So, you know, using one of these versus a MP up, you do burn a turn, but it's one of those that you're not burning a MP up and then the move MP up. If that makes any sense. And I wouldn't be using that to load up a MP up. It would be to actually load up my next move. So just food for thought. You got a few of the other props out here where you knock out a column. What's some other useful ones? These are this right here, knock out a random row. We've got 2 of them. Knock out 3 random rows. Wow. Okay. Steel chair, that adds power gems, very weak power gems if I remember right. Yeah, 100 damage. Add 1 blast gem. Those need to be updated. That'd be nice. I hope this was somewhat informative. As we continue to go, it's going to become a lot more common as far as what we're doing, why we're doing certain things. Please, help your faction with this. This is something that it is time consuming. It is daily. But if you're going to play in a top faction, you need to help out with this and put some numbers on the board. It will benefit your roster and your faction mates. If y'all have any questions, by all means, reach out to me. If not, y'all have a good day.